Okay, I have time for one more story. By the way, I was not able to get the Gatorade at the store just now because there is none. This supply chain thing is crazy. But anyway, I got a few minutes before I'm actually at work, so I wanted to share this one more story. 5 years ago, I met... Oh, I don't have a blog name for her. I need a blog name. A woman, upper 20s, I guess she was, at that time. Not sure, but, in that range. This woman could easily be, if drugs were not part of her life, with the emaciation that comes with it, a stunning world-class model. She just has that look about it, or would. Somewhat quiet personality. I can't say I've ever had any deep conversations with her, but, some chatting here and there. Well, I hadn't seen her for months. And maybe 2 months ago, I saw her. And, just a basic chit-chat. Nothing too in-depth. Saturday, I saw her. She walked right up to me. And I said, "How are you?" She said, "I'm 8.5 months pregnant, and I don't know what I'm going to do." 8.5 months, which means we're getting really close. Michael's watching. I'm telling one of my stories from yesterday. Painful stuff over the weekend. You might know, Michael, you might know this person. I'll text you the name. I can't say it here. She's 8.5 months pregnant. I'll tell you that part later. But she came up to me and she told me this. And she says, "I don't know what I'm going to do." And I said, "Are you still on the street?" She said, "Yep, still living the street life." Boy or girl, I don't know. And then she volunteered that she's gotten essentially no prenatal care. No prenatal care. Think about that. And so this baby is going to be born, sort of within the next couple weeks, to a fully addicted child of God. And, people say, "Well, she knows how to get high. Why can't she know how to get prenatal care?" For those of us on the outside of the issue, maybe that's a legitimate question. But for somebody who's trapped in this addiction phase, Maria, thank you for watching. I'm talking about somebody you and I were talking about yesterday. Whew, it is amazing timing. I'm heading to work, by the way. For somebody who is trapped in the addiction phase, the active use phase, is it too much to process maintaining, keep getting high, and working on getting prenatal care? And so the way she explained, she hasn't gotten any, and she's going to have this child within the next couple weeks. So I did tell the folks at Project Home, I said, be on the lookout for her, and let her know that there's a potential option there, a good option. I didn't go into any details. But thank you for watching. Yeah, Maria, you and I were talking about her, and I've been looking for a picture of her, and I just don't have any. Whoops. FedEx truck parked in the middle of the highway. Hold on here. Why do they do that? Wow. Amazing. So anyway, and here I am, just being real honest here. I'm heading to work right now. Last week was amazingly slow because the 2 to 3 weeks leading up to Christmas and New Year's, people don't want to come into detox rehab, even though they've got full private insurance, because it will mean being in during Christmas and New Year's. And so I'm liable to get to work today and have absolutely nothing to do until I leave at 11 p.m. Makes for a long, miserable shift. In the meantime, there are people like first initial V who really need the care. Not to mention the two who I mentioned in my video of a few minutes ago. The heterosexual couple who has a $500 a day habit, and she makes all the money for the two of them. And she left on a date while we were talking. And he had his back turned to her so that he would not be seeing her hop in the black pickup truck from New Jersey. And when I mentioned the black Ford pickup truck from New Jersey, his response was, "Oh good, that's one of her regulars." And this is a heterosexual couple who has been together for years. Imagine being a male, knowing that your loved one, your love, the love of your life, is going out giving blowjobs and having sex with, in their case, something like 10 dates per 24-hour period. Ouch. Or is it an ouch? Or is it fascinating here? Some people don't know how to drive in traffic circles. Again, is it possible that the two of them are so wrapped up in their addiction, caused by substance use disorder, which is an officially recognized condition within the DSM-5? Is it possible that they are so absorbed into it that the emotional pain, the morality of her having to go out and be sexual with 10 random guys per 24-hour period so as to support their habit that they share as a committed couple? Do those thoughts and feelings just get buried or lost or ignored? And if I wasn't going to work right now, I could drive to the exact location where the three of us were talking and be there in about 40 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to work and might very well be sitting for 8 hours with nothing to do as a driver bringing in private insurance patients. Whew, the system is messed up. The system is genuinely messed up. And don't get me wrong, the private insurance world is not doing anything wrong in the sense that they're providing excellent care because they're being paid excellently by the insurance companies. In the meantime, Medicaid pays I've heard, not even $200 per day. The private insurance companies are getting something like $1,000 per day, which is why they can provide the proper care. So we need to plow down Medicaid Mountain and make it possible for the couples that I just mentioned and others like them and the young lady that I mentioned to get the care that they need and deserve and actually want. Someone said that even if we could bring them into RCA, they have to be ready for the care. Well, guess what? If there are 2,000 people on the streets of Kensington in need of detox rehab care, if 5% want that care, that's 100 people that could come over here. And do you think we occasionally have 100 available beds? Yes, we do. Do we have the staff for it? It's a different subject. But I can guarantee you, within reasonable distance of Philadelphia, there are easily 100 beds. And again, as I said in my previous video, in reference to the heterosexual couple where she makes the money for the two of them to support their $400 to $500 a day habit, she makes all the money. And we keep talking about needing to build up awareness of the situation. So we video people on the sidewalks. We don't need that awareness anymore. We have that awareness. The awareness that we're not aware of is the fact that 90% of all women on the streets are 100% reliant on doing dates to support their habit, their drug needs. 70% of the men on the streets are 100% reliant on that 90%. So if there are an equal number of men and equal number of women, and we're calling the total number 2,000, that's 80%, 1,600 people on the streets of Kensington are 100% reliant on prostitution, so as to have the money to buy the drugs to maintain their high or not getting dope sick. Oh boy. These patients of substance use disorder are raising the money through prostitution so as not to be dope sick. A horrendous, miserable, rotten feeling. The customers, the Johns, might have a physiological need in why they do the date, but it doesn't even slightly begin to compare with the agony that the patient of substance use disorder is trying to avoid by doing the dates. And so gentlemen, yeah, right. Guys, Johns, whatever you want to call them, find another way to fulfill your need. Because when you do what you do, almost always to women, and I know some guys do dates and so forth, but that's a whole different subject for me right now. When you're doing that to that young lady, you're destroying her a little bit more. I guess that's all I have to say about that for right now. Just stop. Guys, find another way to find your release, aka your wife. The number of times I hear that it's a married man calling and Ubering the young lady to the marriage bed while she's on a business trip. Man. And I'm just about to get on the Route 30 here in Devon, Pennsylvania. Very high society area. There's mansions all over the place. The young ladies of Kensington are out here all the time. It's just, there's no such thing as a Kensington issue. It's a regional issue. It goes beyond region. There was a person I was talking to for the first time ever on Saturday. I said, where are you from? She said, Chicago. I said, Chicago? How'd you get here? She said, I came here 4 years ago to experience the drugs of Kensington and got stuck. And I'm still here. Wow. Okay, I'm just about to turn on to Route 30 and pull into work. I see, Michael, you've got some comments there, so I'll read them as soon as I get parked. But I'm going to sign off now and go into work where I might have something to do or might be sitting for 8 hours. So I'll let you know. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.